I'd like to give some information about Kali that a lot of people might not have. There's a lot of misconceptions about Kali, and the kind of form that I recognize Kali through is Kali Ma, the mother Kali, the divine mother who seeks to help her children and basically makes them eat their vegetables, from lack of a better term. This is an analogy, but it is very true. Kali allows us to seek fulfillment in this world while seeking liberation from it, and these are two very vital concepts associated with Kali, and rightly so. Kali Ma is that mother who comes at us in a very visceral way. We often see Kali with severed heads, and these heads represent different basically impure or violent thoughts in our minds that she basically severs from our mind if we are dedicated to her. If we offer these violent thoughts, this anger, this pain, this ignorance that we have, we offer it up and she slaughters it. And that's why she's represented as being basically a warrior within our own minds for those who embrace her. And Kali Ma is a very nurturing figure. She doesn't desire to force anything upon us, but everything that we offer allows her to basically influence our very spiritual being, allows her to not necessarily correct things within our mind or our spiritual nature, but help us towards the correction that we seek. And if you desire to see beyond society, to see the goal of society, to see beyond time, and to see the goal of time and why it exists, why the different dimensions exist, why this earth exists, why humanity exists, Kali is the goddess for you, and Kali Ma especially so. Now, when it comes to how Kali is viewed internally, how we view Kali within our minds as individuals, as devotees, she is often appearing to all of her devotees as a form of light that doesn't have these definitions we often find in pictures. Pictures are a reference to her absolute nature, and the pictures communicate what she does for us. And she's often pictured and shown as standing upon Shiv, and Shiv represents matter, and she represents the absolute energy, the energy that transcends the material realm and transcends the physical manifestations we often conceptualize the material realm through. Without Kali Ma, we tend to ignore the eternal goddess. We tend to ignore the goddess in general, and we tend to think that that only the male aspect of creation, the potency of it, is all that is required. But Kali Ma is absolute creativity. She allows everything to be developed in a way that is productive for not only individuals, but for lineages of people, or entire cultures of people, entire worlds of people. And there are many worlds out there, not only in other dimensions especially, but in this dimension itself, in this universe, with all its many galaxies and planets and many life forms. Without an understanding of the vast number of entities in this universe and in other universes and different dimensions, we think that the universe is very much focused on every single individual. But in truth, the universe is always moving towards a goal, and the goal is something that Kali Ma can help with. The goal of allowing everyone to transform their mental thoughts, well, their thoughts into the kind of this pure light of love, of purification, and of enlightenment, of liberation, of moksha. And the liberation that Kali Ma provides is basically the ultimate liberation. You don't have to believe in Kali Ma necessarily, but beings like Kali Ma that often, when worshipped, often feed into the current of Kali Ma, I guess you could say, the spiritual current, the magical current, kind of form this grander channel into the future of the spirituality of all life and all the universes. She is the positive energy of creation, always going towards that goal. And her being surrounded by skulls and bones and and the dead bodies of demons. This all can seem very evil. But these dead bodies that she's surrounded by are not good human bodies. They are demonic forms that somebody might recognize if they're very materialistic. Somebody might create, I guess you could say, a demonic body for themselves if they focus on hate, they focus on anger, they focus on something that is very grounded in ego and materialism of selfish desires, selfish goals. But if we offer our negative forms up to her, she slays them, and we are left with these light forms that are our ultimate nature, our ultimate goal. And after light comes the merging back into God, back into source, back into that which we all come from, that which we all truly want to go back to in many different ways. We all have different ways of looking at God, of looking at the nature of reality, of where we're going and what we want. But these things can be purified with the help of the energy of Kali Ma, the Divine Mother. And for me, Kali Ma is the form of God that that represents God, but also that I recognize God through. When I pray to God, it's usually through the Divine Mother Kali Ma. I believe in different gods, but it has more to do with recognizing God through these pure forms that are sometimes represented like Kali Ma with these very seemingly violent images, but they all represent something deep down that we're trying to slay. All this negativity and darkness we're working past. And if, as a person, you recognize Kali Ma, then you can offer up this negativity within yourself, and she will help you slay it. She will help you destroy it, and she will help you move past all of those chains that bind you to this material realm. For this material realm is vast, and it has many temptations. And these temptations that the material realm has are things that Kali Ma is basically the function of God to help us slay, to help us destroy, and help us come to a union with our fellow man and all life forms in the universe, and matter and energy itself. And even space is a kind of energy, for space is really an illusion, because all things ultimately come back together, and time itself has a very Mayic or illusory nature to it, because we don't really understand time. We don't really realize the end goal of time as somebody who is isolated in time, is placed in time to work out certain things. But Kali Ma can help us realize that time itself is an illusion, but also an aid if we learn how to use it towards our benefit, towards our liberation. And every soul wants to be liberated. Every person in any religion wants to be liberated. It's all about deciding which is the best way to be liberated. And for me, Kali Ma is the best way to work towards that liberation, that moksha. And without her, I would be very lost. I didn't find her until 4 or 5 years ago. And when I did, my spiritual nature, my spiritual progression enhanced, spontaneously and exponentially towards the goal that I was always seeking. But I didn't know it because it was deep down. I didn't know I was seeking this love and this communication and this unification with everyone else until I found the Divine Mother Kali Ma. Because when I found her, that unification was made apparent, and it was made available, and it was made accessible through the Divine Mother Kali Ma. The path she is like a light that shines upon the path, and we see the path through her tenderly divine motherly care. And she is a warrior, because the Divine Mother is, in many different forms, a warrior, because she has to slay all those thought forms, all that ego, all that pain that we manifest through materialistic desire. She slays it, but she also shows us how it can be slain. And when I say she slays it, it's only when we offer it up, when we truly offer up these thought forms that we've conceived and that we've worked towards unknowingly through dark methods, through failing along the path. When we offer them up, she is just ready to slay them, and they are separate from us, and we are no longer bound by these terrible vices of ego, I guess you could say. It's not necessarily sin. It's not necessarily something like gluttony or something like lust. It's about that which is behind gluttony and lust, and offering that up so that it is destroyed, and so that the very roots of materiality, of that which binds us in these terrible chains, is completely cut. But that's all I have to say about the Divine Mother Kali Ma, and Kali in general is a very liberating being. Divine Mother Kali Ma is how I recognize Kali, and Kali Ma has helped me towards my own spiritual path and along my own spiritual path, and I see the goal, and working towards it is another matter, but she has brought clarity into what I understand, what I know, and she has allowed me to understand the knowledge of the different universes and different dimensions and the different forms of myself. And with that knowledge, I can work towards the goal that we all have: liberation from that which binds us. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this video has been interesting to you. If you have any comments, any suggestions, if you disagree with me and you want to tell me about it, feel free to shoot it down in the comment section below. I'm more than welcome to respond to comments that are polite. And if you like this video, I'll hit that thumbs up down there, and it really helps the channel, and I would appreciate it. But look within, brothers and sisters, and what form of God do you think can help you?